So this right here, my new baby. Hey, it's me. So today, as you can tell from the title, this is going to be a really super quick video because I promised to show you how to make a feather case with decorative fabric. And a lot of the steps just have to do with the previous video where I showed you how to make a feather case. So I'm going to set you down and we'll talk a little more. Okay, so sorry that this whole filming setup kind of sucks a little right now. I still haven't figured out how I'm going to film in this little corner I have here. But you don't care about that, so let's just go ahead and get started. So I just want to quickly run through the materials that you need and then I'll talk a little more. So you will need 2 pieces of cardboard. I would also suggest before you get started on making the case that you choose cardboard that is long enough or wide enough to fit your feather. Feathers come in all sizes. So again, this is the tutorial for decorative fabric. So here I have some decorative cotton. I believe this is quilting cotton, so it's a little thicker, but whatever kind of fabric you want. It could be any kind of, doesn't have to be just cotton is what I'm trying to say. I just wouldn't suggest any kind of fabric that is like stretchy. So pull the fabric. If it's stretchy, then no matter how cute it is, it's probably not ideal for this pattern of a case. I also have some felt. You don't have to use felt. You can use like fleece or flannel. I am using felt because that is what I have, you know, on hand. And it's actually what I see the majority of feather cases have. You'll also need some ribbon in order to close the case. I just have, this is actually just extra. And I'm like, hey, that's perfect. So these are pretty much the same materials that were needed in the prior video, except for the decorative fabric that obviously wasn't in it. This video, I'm also going to be using a hot glue gun. How many of you store shit in your Crown Royal bags? I'm just wondering. And you know what? I don't think I've actually had a bottle of Crown Royal in this house. I just ended up with the bag somehow. So yeah, hot glue gun. And then of course, scissors, sewing machine, a bomb-ass sewing table like what I have. Just kidding. Now the first thing that I'm going to do then is I'm going to put together my feather case the exact same way that I did in the previous video, but with the decorative fabric, not the felt. The felt will be put on afterwards. So we have this here. I will go ahead and link up the video so you can follow that if you haven't seen it. Go ahead and follow that video along to make the case, and then check back in with this video so you can see what the rest is all about. But before you go, I just want to say right now, the whole point in me making this one, for one, I did not have enough time to make this case or the decorative fabric. Otherwise, I would have just included that one in the last video. So sorry that it's like split up and kind of weird. You have to like go watch that one and then this one, and it's a whole thing, right? But the reason that I think it's important to use both the decorative fabric and the felt is just primarily because you want a soft fabric to encase your actual feather in. So also you have to kind of like bend, like open and close your feather case. So at the bending point, the way I'm going to show you how to do it, the felt will kind of keep that bending area of the fabric nice and sturdy. So go watch that video, come back. Okay, so I have my feather case mostly made up here. I just made the exact same like pattern that I did in the previous video, but with the decorative fabric. I also attached my ribbon to the middle. So I didn't do the middle stitch right here yet. You can do that if you want. I chose not to do it yet because I'm going to do a stitch in the middle of the case after I add the felt, so I figured it just made more sense to do one single stitch down the middle once I get everything wrapped together rather than doing multiple stitches in the middle. So now that I have basically finished this part of my case, as you can see, the cotton isn't as thick of like a material as the felt was in the previous video I made. So this area in the middle, it's just not very sturdy. Also, like I said before, the fabric is too rough to rest a feather against. You should always use some like soft fabric that would be touching your feather. So what I have here is a section of felt, and I'm just going to show you real quick how to kind of size out your felt, and then we can add it to the case. Okay, so I'm just going to lay my case flat here. I have the outside on the bottom. And then I'm going to take my piece of felt. This is just like a piece that I cut off of like a much larger section of felt. I would suggest that you make sure that you have some nice 90-degree angles cut out of your piece of felt, and that's what I use these big rulers for. Now when I lay it on top of here, I don't want to go directly to the edge. I think I would like to leave about a ½ inch on the very edges. So I'll do that and then cut it out to size.
I wish I had captured this on camera better, but the way I did it here was kind of unnecessary anyway, so I'll just say right now, to measure out your felt or soft fabric of choice, just measure the length and width of your case and subtract 1 inch from both, and then cut out your felt with the new measurement. This way, when you place the felt in the middle of the inside of the case, there will be a ½ inch wide border around it.
Okay, so this is where the hot glue gun comes in, and I'm just going to glue around the very edges. I want to point out that you want to use a very, very small amount of glue, like don't glob it on too much because hot glue will glue very chunky. Okay, so I have my felt glued on. Like I said, I used a very, very small amount of glue just around the very edges. I didn't want to use glue that was very thick because then you'd be able to see and feel that through the felt. The next step, and the last, is to just do a stitch down the middle. Now, full transparency here, I kind of messed up when I applied the ribbon. I didn't sew the ribbon on like directly in the middle of the fold, because my plan was to sew the ribbon on and then do the stitch in the middle in line with the stitch that's holding the ribbon on. So I think what I'm going to do is I will do one in line with the ribbon and then try and match another stitch on the side, because I do have a nice wide gap here. I built that. About from here to here. It's a pretty wide gap, and I just chose to do that because the feather that is intended for this case is just slightly curved, so I want to give it a little bit of room to not be completely smashed flat. So yeah, I'm going to do a zigzag stitch down either side of the middle. One of those stitches will be in line with the one holding on the ribbon here, and then I'll check back in and show you the final product. So here it is. I have my case here, the ribbon. When you open it up, it has the soft felt in there. I sewed 2 stitches in the middle, so here's one and then here's the other. They're just kind of like on either side, so it could fold nicely. I went ahead and just ironed this flat. Again, the reason that I left such a wide gap in between the cardboard pieces was because I have a feather that's kind of curvy. So when I fold this, this will allow for just a little extra room to give the feather some room, but it will also close enough so that it can actually like hold the feather in there. So here's my feather. It's just a little curved. That's why I thought this type of case would still be pretty good for it. Plus I want to wear this feather in my hair. So I needed like a case that I can easily pack in with my luggage container for my regalia. So here it is. So yeah, I hope you like that really quick little tutorial, just because I know some people like to have like decorative feather cases. It depends on you, depends on, you know, your tribe, your teachings, what you can do with feather cases. So here is my little contribution to society. So yeah, I hope you found that helpful or entertaining or whatever you want it to be, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, Peak Lemon.